What's up, good people? In today's video, I'm going to share some fashion tips and fashion hacks with you that will help your clothes last longer. At least longer than relationships in Nairobi. That's coming up right after this intro. What's up, good people? Welcome back to Wardrobe Chronicles. In case you're new here, I am David Ochola. This is Wardrobe Chronicles. And on this channel, we talk about fashion, we talk about fitness, we talk about all things men's lifestyle. In case you're into that kind of stuff, be sure to join the family, hit that subscribe button and turn on the notifications bell so that you do not miss out on any of the awesome content I post here on Wednesdays and Sundays every week, because that's great content that will help you have a better lifestyle. And in case you don't want to miss out on any of those, be sure to do that. That said, let's jump right into these hacks that will help your clothes last much longer. The first tip that will help make sure that your clothes serve you for as long as they should, and probably even longer, is to buy the right fit. And many guys don't think about this, but if you buy undersized clothes or oversized clothes, they won't last for as long as they should. That's because many a times, due to friction, like say for example around the armpits and around the inseam of your trousers, for example, they will wear out quicker, whether they are bigger or smaller. So what you want to do is you want to buy the perfect fit, or at least the closest to perfect fit, so that it doesn't wear out faster due to wear and tear or because of friction, if that makes sense. So if, say for example, you're a large, just buy a large or just slightly bigger or just slightly smaller, and the same is true for a small and a medium and so forth and so on. The right fit for clothes not only makes you look good, but it also makes sure your clothes last for as long as they should. The second tip that will help your clothes last longer is to make sure that when you wash your dark colored clothes, you hang them indoors or under shade. And that's because the sun has a bleaching effect even on leather. So you can imagine having that bleaching effect on clothes. It's even faster than it is on leather, for instance. So what you want to do is, once you wash them, just hang them indoors. It might take a few more days before they dry, but you will be grateful that you hang them indoors. Like say for example, I had a pair of sweatpants that I used to hang outside and it was black. These days, trust me, it's brown, and you don't want that to happen to your clothes. The third tip that will help your clothes last longer is make sure you don't use harsh bleaches when you're washing them. So say for example, Jik is really good and effective, but only if you use it very sparingly. There's a time my dad bought me a tie. It was a white tie and it had a bit of brown on it just because it was being sold outside, etc. So I put it in Jik. Foolishly, I put it in Jik and I didn't know what was going to happen, and I left it overnight. You can imagine what happened the next day. I didn't have a tie, it was in tatters. So imagine, this is just a tie. How about clothes? You may not necessarily leave them overnight, but over time, the more that you use harsh bleaches, the more they wear out, or rather, the more the bleach wears your clothing out. So what you want to do, if it's not necessary, just use regular soap so that your clothes last longer than they would ideally last if at all you're using harsh bleaches. The thing about harsh bleaches is, over time, they wear down fabric, and that's how you end up having clothes that just end up tearing without you necessarily having done any strenuous activity even when wearing them. So the fourth tip that's going to help your clothes last longer is going to sound counterintuitive, but buy more to spend less. So for example, for things like socks, underwear, undershirts, vests, you want to buy more of those. Even clothes in general, just buy more so that you don't wear them as often, as opposed to if you have a few clothes that you wear so often, they end up wearing out much faster when you have a few clothes. So if you're in a position to invest a little more money at once, just buy a lot more clothes so that they last you longer, as opposed to if you had like 3 shirts or 5 shirts and you're wearing them this week and next week. If you had 14 shirts, by the time you come back and wear the first shirt, it's a long time. So those clothes will last much longer than they ideally would. That was a bit difficult to explain, but I hope that makes sense. The last tip that I would like to share with you that will help your clothes last longer is to take care of your clothes according to the care instructions written on them. if at all you're careful and you look at clothes when you buy them, they usually come with a care instruction either here or right here for shirts and etc. Those instructions are written there for a reason. If it says wash with warm water, just try and wash with warm water. If it says cold water only, use cold water only. If it says don't use harsh bleaches, don't use harsh bleaches. If it says wash with light colors, those instructions will help your clothes last longer. And I hope that out of all of these tips, this one is the one that you should really be keen about, because people underrate those care instructions and they are going to really help. Because like say for example, if you had a car and it got spoiled, who would you go to fix it? Who knows how it works best? It's a manufacturer, right? And that's the same thing with clothes. And that brings me to the end of today's video. If you found this video helpful and informative, be sure to drop a like down below. I'd really appreciate it. Share it with your friends, call your friends, let them know that we have a good thing going here. I am posting 2 videos every week, and I don't want them to miss out on the awesome content that I'm posting here every week. Thank you so much for making time for this video and for watching today's video. I will see you in the next one. Keep crushing it. The first tip when it comes to making sure that you're closed, and the last fashion hack of those instructions will help your clothes last longer.